Okay, let's see here. First chat of the night. All right, I'll get on here and share this. I think I have like a minute before we begin. Aha, I'll share it to the ChillerNight group. And I'll share it. Oh, whoops. Come in here and that Brian Hogue guy will share it. Okay, here we go. One more click, folks, and then I can begin. Here we go. I think we're good. All right, anybody on the chat? Nobody here. All right. Okay, and away we go. Still 8 o'clock, not bad. Hey everybody, this is Brian Hogue. Welcome to another week of the ChillerNight live pre-show, where from 8 p.m. until Eastern Time, until a few minutes shy of 9 p.m. I sit here, I chat with you fine, frightening folks about all things chiller, all things horror, science fiction, paranormal, related, or quite frankly, anything that you throw my way topic-wise, within reason, of course. And how's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're all doing well. Tom says, good evening. Good evening, Tom. SBC says, hello. Hey, SBC. Glamfang says, hey. Oh, Brian, Tom. Hey, Glam, thanks for joining us. Let's see. Loretta is giving me a little hi. Okay, some hellos back and forth. All right, I wasn't sure if I was going to be here tonight, as seems to be the uncertainty as the weeks go on. The last couple of weeks, I've been working at the escape room on Saturday night. It's been busy, but fortunately, should I say fortunately? I don't know. Well, whether fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, it was a slow evening, so I was able to cut out in time for me to be here. So Brian says hello all. Hey Brian, thanks for joining us. All right, what do you guys think? This is almost Halloween. It is October 22nd, and we are approaching Halloween. A fantastic, fantastic time of the year. I know that I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, love this time of the year. Ava Hoagie gives me a heart right back at you, baby. Loretta Richardson Hanger says, pumpkin time. Yes, pumpkin time. I carved that myself. Hope you like it. Brad says it's a ChillerNight pre-show of Brian Hogue, starring Brian Hogue. Now, here's Brian. What's on tonight? Brian, all right, let me tell you. All right, at 9 o'clock, Silent Night, Bloody Night. That is hosted by Jack Shadow. And the rest of these are hosted by me. Now, 10:50, The Undying Monster. 12:05, Scared to Death. And then at 1:35 in the morning, The Giant Claw. So there you have it. There is the ChillerNight Theater lineup. And you can watch that by tuning in to Stream Media. See up there in your upper right, streammedia.tv. Streammedia.tv. That's where you can check out the ChillerNight programming for tonight. Speaking of, whoops, speaking of that, I got here and I didn't put up the stream media or any of the logos. Where are my logos at? Here we go. All right. Move those around a little bit. So, how is everybody doing preparing for Halloween? Anybody got any haunted houses you've gone to? This was one of my former haunted houses, the Dark Domain. I had a lot of fun with that. Anybody been out and about and doing anything like that? Anything spooky? Of course, I have the zombie outbreak escape room. A lot of people have been going through that. So, Glam said, it's been a glorious spooky season so far. Awesome. Bonehead says, welcome back, Brian, Miss Ava, Tom Paisley, and our beautiful spider sweetheart, Miss Glamfangs, and all the ChillerNight crew. I missed you, Ollians. Hey, well, thank you for joining us tonight. All right, so, yeah, this is kind of nice being back here. And I really, I got to thinking about that. Last time I did no, it was last week, last Saturday night, I made the little video, announcing there was no pre-show. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute, I normally don't do, when I have a haunted house, I don't do the pre-show at all in October. So, but it is inevitable that Saturday nights are going to be tying me up with the escape room. So, I'm not sure about how to go about this, folks. I gotta be honest. I don't know what to do. It's a coming. I gotta make some decisions here. Paul says, "Hey family, how you doing? Good, Paul. Thanks for joining us tonight." So, there will be a new episode hosted by Jack Shadow. Jack will be featuring a Barbara Steele classic. And should I announce it? I'm not sure yet if it's going to be a live one or not. Let's see. Because if I can't see this too well, then I'm sure Jack Shadow won't be able to see the comments in the crystal ball. Let's see. I might be able to. I don't know. We'll have to see. Regardless if it's a live Tuesday terror night or pre-recorded, it will be a brand new episode for next Saturday night, hosted by Jack Shadow for Halloween. It will be he'll be featuring the movie The Ghost, starring Barbara Steele. So I'm trying to figure out what I have time for right now. Do I have time to make it a live show? Do I pre-tape it? I don't know. And I know it's coming up real quick to where Tuesday it's getting taped one way or the other. So I can tell you that. I just don't know. I don't have all the details ironed out yet because I've been a little busy, but working on it. With ChillerNight Theater, I've got to. I guess it's just one of those things. I'm going to. Here's two things, and maybe you guys can help me decide on this. One, I pull the plug on it for now. As far as me making new content with Jack Shadow, that's not been happening anyways. I made Jack. This will only be two episodes. I did one back in April, and then of course for Halloween. So Jack, I just don't have time to do Jack Shadow hosting like I used to, because now I'm working on more escape rooms. I'll be building the haunt as soon as my shoulder recovers. I will be there building the haunted house for next year. I know that doesn't sound so far away, but there's a lot I want to put into this now that I have a permanent structure. That I seriously don't even know if I have time to accomplish that. What I have in mind for next year's haunted house. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I either put the show on hold for a while, or there's Brian, there's the castle caretaker. I can go in and do it that way, to keep it going, or because there's very little preparation required, because I'm basically watching a movie with you, doing what I'm doing right now. But when it comes to Jack Shadow, there is a certain standard I would like to keep with that character and the show, and so I'm just tossing some ideas around. I will tell you, there's no way I can keep up with everything, and have Jack Shadow host the show. At least not for now. Now there would be a time, once everything's built and constructed, that I could once again return to the normal show. But I actually would want sponsorship at that point. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm going through all the trouble of doing a show that's actually hosted by Jack Shadow, I'd want some sponsorship. But that's down the road. That was me rambling, but actually it is an important topic, because it kind of, a lot's kind of depending on the outcome. Paul says, Dad is still with us. Conditions slowly going downhill. Just glad he's been here for this. Just getting scared. I'm sorry to hear that, Paul. I'm sorry to hear that. I wish him the best, and your family, what you're dealing with. Bonehead says, Brian, it seems like you're busier than you ever were in your years past. I know, I feel that way, absolutely. Congratulations on the escape room taking off, and I hope it's going great. Missed you there, Brother Brian. Thank you. I appreciate that. Lazycorn says, hey, peeps, reporting live from Otto's Pub and Brewery in State College. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Lazycorn. Thanks for joining us. Paul says, I need therapy. Well, I and the others are here for you tonight. So thanks for joining us. Let's see. Paul says 30-day recovery from Manos. Right. Yeah. Oh. Bonus says, cheers to you, Laser, my good man. Sink a few for me. Yeah. Throw one, at least one in there for me, if you would. Me, Jack Shadow, take your choice, but take your pick, but one of us. Tom says, but the scars of Manos will never truly disappear. Yeah, I'm afraid those are with us for good. Bonus says, Miss Glam, I miss hearing from you so much. I almost tried to get a hold of you on Facebook, but I didn't know if you'd be on there. Glam says, that's certainly a difficult situation. Paul, wishing you and your strength, peace, and comfort. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, I will get back to this this situation there with Jack Shadow, ChillerNight Theater. One thing I wanted to ask you guys. Now, I know, Brad, if you're still on here, I know the answer here on your end, because you told me you saw this, but Halloween Ends. Has anybody else seen this? And if so, what was your, obviously without getting spoilers, but what'd you guys think of it? Did anybody see Halloween Ends? And if you had, what's your opinion of it? What's your opinion? I have not seen it yet. So Brad wrote to me today and asked me about that. So, but I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what to make of it. Paul says electric shock can help you with the recovery from Manos. Can it? Can it really, Paul? Is anything really going to shock all the pain of Manos out of us? Is something like that even in existence? Terrence says, late arrival. Howdy, folks. Hey, Terrence, thanks for joining us. Bonehead says, I agree with Glam, Paul. I think the whole Chiller family has you and your family in their prayers and wishes. 100%. Yes, 100%. That's not an easy thing, obviously, to get through. I'm sure, not just myself, but I'm sure many of you have been in that situation, and it is tough. It's tough on all the family. Brad says, "Hey, no spoiling." That's right, no spoilers, no spoilers. Laser Coin says, "Man, so much to say tonight, but I'm with company and I don't have the time." Well, thank you for stopping by and stopping in and saying hi. Glam says, "Oh, thanks, Bonehead. I've kind of fallen off Facebook. Not that I was ever active there anyhow. Technology and me are not the best of buds." You and me both, Glam. You and me both. It is a force I don't understand. Tom says he's not seen Halloween Ends. Roger says, "Good evening." Good evening, Roger. Roger, you're just coming on. I'm asking folks if they've seen Halloween Ends yet, and if they did, without giving any spoilers, what did you think of it? Thumbs up, thumbs down, indifferent. Let me know what you think. Is it truly ended? I don't know. I'm of the opinion if they can still make money, they're gonna make money. They'll just do like in wrestling, a wrestler retires, and lo and behold, after a certain few years, some situation has arisen to where this wrestler has to make a grand re-entry into the world of wrestling, and it's all about the money, folks. Paul says, "Very kick-ass movie. I don't think it is over. They leave the door open for." Well, I don't know if I should read that part. Okay, well, there's your. Paul gives it a thumbs up. I know Brad gave it a thumbs up. Terrence says, "I mostly loved Halloween Ends. Anyone else saying it was terrible, they're all wrong. This is the best Halloween since Carpenter's 1978 original. 5 out of 5 stars. Wow, that's quite a stellar review there. Okay, I mean, to put it up there with the actual 78, the classic. All right, that's saying quite a bit. Bonin says, "Hey, Terrence, now that you and Lasercorn are here, the gang's almost all here. Anyone here from Miss Diane Sylvia?" That's right. Yeah, we're David and Diana. I know it's a little unpredictable these last few weeks with whether I was having the pre-show. So hopefully they see it and hop on. Brad says, "I'm watching WWE NXT Halloween Havoc 2022 live on Peacock. Guest host is once again Chucky." Oh my. Is it really? They're having Chucky as a guest host? Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Paul says, "Thanks for all your support, family." Absolutely, Paul. Let's see. Bonus says, "I'm going to watch Halloween Ends this week at some point." Tom says, "Even I haven't seen it, and I can tell you they'll leave the door open for another sequel." Right. It's just true. It's just true. Here's why. Well, I'm starting to see. Paul says, "Remember the clown mask in Rob Zombie's remake?" Yeah. Also missing is Renee Cruz. Terrence says, "PBR Street Gang is giving me some claps." All right. Thanks for joining us. Or me, or the show in general, you folks as well. SBC says, "I hope you find a good sponsor and that one day Jack Shadow will have his own cornflakes." I'm sure Jack wants that as well. All right, so Halloween Ends. Yeah, the most simple way to bring it back is to do what they've simply done already in the past, is just relaunch it from a different timeline, or basically like and I've said this before only because I'm a big fan of Part 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I'm a big fan of that movie. I just think it's so Halloweenish. Okay, when Paul Rudd was back in, way back in what, 90, 95, 96, something like that. I think it was 95. I remember going to theater, seeing that. I loved it. I thought it just has a good Halloween feel to it. But I like I like they were actually giving effort into putting a backstory into it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's not just a mindless, monstrous killer that keeps coming back for no reason. They were actually trying to give, a little scoop of sense into the storyline and say that, okay, this is why, or at least we're alluding to it, why this is happening. Kind of like what they did with Friday the 13th. Kind of went back and retconned the origin of Jason with his mom being a witch of some type. I seem to recall that. I haven't seen those movies for a long time, but I seem to recall something about that. Anyways, um, John says, "Wow, I almost forgot, but you're here, and I haven't had any cool intro planned." Yeah, that's right. You asked me earlier about that. I wasn't sure either. I'm Crozak the Grand, fashionably late, and this is the Chiller Night pre-show. And here's Brian Hogle. Thank you, John and Crozak the Grand. Appreciate that. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's so like I said, it's kind of unpredictable. Um, Brad says, Chucky, Chucky. Um, but yeah, that's all they got to do. That's all they have to do. It's just okay. Let's say for the and I haven't seen it, so I can't. I'm not giving any spoilers because I haven't seen this. I haven't seen Halloween Ends. But let's just say the worst thing. Let's say he falls into a wood chipper. There's no way he's coming back. Okay, I don't care what the scenario is. It could be however, if he did totally get wiped out, I mean completely, it doesn't matter. None of that matters because all they got to do is start up, relaunch it. Just relaunch it. It's like Rob Zombie did. He had a couple movies, and then they got back to the Jamie Lee Curtis. I guess that was my biggest issue with Halloween, the Halloween movies. They got away from a storyline, just to the H2O. The next one they did after the Curse of Mike Myers, H2O for the 20-year, for 1998 from 78. So, okay, a couple marketers got together and, look what we can do. H2O. How cool, how cool. A little catchy there. Okay, got it. Yeah. And then, since then, with the exception of, Rob Zombies, it's been Jamie Lee, we're really going to sell Jamie Lee Curtis in this thing. It's like, why? I can see maybe one or two movies exploring that, but it's just me personally. If you love that inclusion into the storyline, that's great. I just never got into it. I just personally, and I like the Halloween movies, but with her into it, I felt like it became more about her. Again, just my opinion. You may think differently. You may love that. I don't particularly love that about what they did with it because it was just now it's just I don't know. That's just my thought. We may think differently. You might like The Last Jedi. I don't know. I'm kidding. Let's see. SBC says, I guess I can take that down now. We all know what we're talking about. I haven't seen it yet, but the guy's been dead more than once. He's got a point there. All right, Terrence says, yes, Glam Raymond German is also... Yeah, Raymond German is also missing. I hope Michael Myers didn't get him. I hope not. Brad says, have you seen seasons Chucky yet, Brad? No, I've not seen any of the episodes of that. I'll be honest. I hate to say, I hate to keep harping on like, oh, I'm busy. I don't mean to always sound that way, and I know that I probably sound like a broken record, but as I am kind of a bit busy, I don't normally sit down to watch something like that. unless I have a good deal of time. Maybe I can binge watch a couple episodes or something like that. But I just haven't. I haven't got around to watching it. And that came out like it was last October, wasn't it? And Chucky is like okay. I'm glad he's part of the familiar monsters. Contemporary familiar. I say that from like the '80s upwards that we know. But I never. I don't know. I was never as big into Chucky. Um, but it might be very entertaining. I've just not seen it. How about you guys? Have any of you seen that series? And if so, what'd you think? Um, Tom says no one could ever see his chats. Was Bob Books, I think. Silent Bob has been. Oh yeah. Silent Bob has been AWOL for quite a while. I've wondered about that. I haven't seen Bob on here it's been a couple years, I think. But it says Tom, the Halloween series is like the Godzilla franchise for me. I can't get enough of Mikey or the Big G. Is that right? I mean, there is some, there's just a lot of fun in watching that type of thing. And I will include Chucky too. I mean, there is a funness to it, to watching that stuff. So, Bonus says he's so silent. Silent Bob. I can't remember him. Paul says it's just not the same without Donald Pleasance. Yeah, which is kind of why that movie, The Curse of Mike Myers, stands out to me because it was the last movie Donald Pleasance was in. So I thought it was kind of cool, and he was very sick as they were filming that movie. He could barely move. He always was sitting. From what I remember reading an interview about this, and I think I heard it somewhere else also, but they said that he was just sit by himself, like alone in between takes, because he was just not doing well at all. But he was a real trooper in getting through that, He didn't have to do it, but he did. He came in and played that part again. I wasn't crazy how they ended that with that character, but they didn't ask me. Terrence says, Brian, nobody likes The Last Jedi. I didn't think they did. I didn't think they did at all. But I was pretty sure. I think you're right. Anybody likes The Last Jedi, good on you. That's fine. All right. I don't like that movie. Brad says, just been busy, Brian. I have. In fact, I've been so busy. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. And I'll put the schedule back up. I see it's almost 8:30 here for tonight's stuff in just a couple minutes. But yeah, I just mentioned about the dilemma I'm having about whether Jack Shadow would be continuing as the host of ChillerNight Theater. And if that's what the viewers are willing to watch. Do they want to, would they want to watch me standing in for a while or maybe permanently? Because I'll tell you this, not that I'm thrilled about this idea, but it's just simply what can I do? What can I keep up with? And I'm telling you, like this year has been a really heavy indication on me not being able to keep up with including Jack Shadow. In fact, just to prepare the show, I had to take a day off from vacation this week just to sit down and prepare the show. Now that's, if I were to do it as Brian, which I have been this year, you notice I'm getting obviously we can watch a lot more. That takes almost no preparation. I might put a few notes here and there, but as far as, there's a big difference. And there's a big difference between Jack Shadow, and I'm sure the less entertaining Brian Hogue. So again, it comes back to what are the viewers ultimately going to want. And if it's not something that's wanted, would I want that to be the show's swan song? You know, would I want it to go out that way? Um, that I don't know. If it's just a matter of me getting on here with the picture of Jack in the background, letting you know it is indeed Castle Shadow, and you know that is the direct association. I am coming in as the castle caretaker, the curator, or whatever of Castle Shadow. Then then that's something that I could consider, because that doesn't take as much to prepare for that. But if it's the Jack Shadow doing it, here's why. Here's why. I have a lot to construct and to prepare and to design for the next year coming. And I mentioned this earlier in the show. I know that sounds like, if you've never done a haunted house, like a commercial level haunted house, as much on the professional level as you can get, then that probably sounds, oh, you got a whole year. But that's not a lot of time for what I'm trying to accomplish with, so I got a lot of space to work with, and not a ton, but I mean, it's under 7,000 square feet, but there's still a lot of room in there for me to work with. But there's a lot of the sets I want to work on, and just get a lot done. Plus, I'm working on my next escape room, horror themed escape room. So there's so much going on that I just I can't. It's hard for me to pull away from that, something that business wise I'm making a return on, to do the Chiller Night theaters, where I'm getting I get nothing from that. In fact, I give, and I'm not saying that trying to sound bad, but I'm just saying that to be honest with you. I've attempted over years to get to a place to where, oh, okay, I'm getting getting sponsorship or something like that, and then that has never worked out for me, because I'm one person. I am one person, and I'm trying to do all of this, and I guess it's come down to, it's going to be one way or the other, I suppose. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Paul says, what's the lineup? Oh, yeah. I was trying to see where I left off here. The schedule for tonight is at 9 o'clock, Silent Night, Bloody Night. At 10:50, The Undying Monster. Then at 12:05, just a little after midnight, Scared to Death. And at 1:35 a.m., the movie is The Giant Claw. There it is, folks. Behold the ChillerNight programming for tonight on StreamMedia.tv. At StreamMedia.tv on Stream TV. So there you have it. That will be coming up in less than half an hour. PBR Street Gang says, just watched The Last Man on Earth starring Vincent Price. Such a faithful take on I Am Legend. Yeah. I enjoy that movie. That was, in fact, when I did the very first time Jack Shadow hosted anything in the show prior to Chiller Night Theater was Sleepy Hollow Theater, and that was the very first movie I played, was The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price. I enjoy that movie. That was the movie that George Romero, Chili Billy himself, Bill Cardell, told me this, because they were really super good friends, George Romero and Bill Cardell, of course. He said that was George Romero's inspiration for Night of the Living Dead, was The Last Man on Earth. And you can kind of see a lot of the, you can see the similarities, or what he borrowed from The Last Man on Earth for Night of the Living Dead. I think he did a great job. So, Sharon says, Brian, out of all the movies you've shown on Chiller Night Theater, what's your favorite, and why is it Night of the Living Dead? Yeah, my favorite. I don't know. Of course, I do love Night of the Living Dead. Obviously, I think we all have a, that's one of those that is obviously going to be the standout movie. Um, I don't know. That's and one I really like is Lady Frankenstein. I don't know. I think that's a really cool movie. Lady Frankenstein's a good one. And probably another one that has some significance to it for me is Horror Express. The reason being is because when I joined up with Stream TV for the programming that you're seeing now, when I joined up with them, wasn't when I first started Chiller Night Theater. It was a couple years into it. But when I joined up with collaborated with Stream TV, my very first time hosting again as Jack Shadow on the chair, and in the castle background and everything was I was showing Horror Express. So that was the very first movie I played. So I kind of look at those as significant. Let's see. Bonus says, "Oh, thanks, Tom. I really didn't know who you were talking about. I thought maybe you were joking." Oh, with Silent Bob. I'm guessing that's who you're talking about. PBR Street Gang says, "Love me some Chucky. Child's Play is double good." And, PBR says, "Anyone know the connection between the mask used in Halloween and Star Trek?" Yeah, right. Tom says it's Kirk. Yep, Kirk turned inside out. PBR says, "Yep, Kirk's face." Paul says, "I think it's the original series, Consciousness of the King." What? Paul says, "Kirk pick up the Shakespeare actor." What? I'm not following. SBC says, "The Captain Kirk part is such a detail that you simply can't overlook once you know it." Oh yeah. You're always gonna see William Shatner in that. You're right. Paul says Kirk and Sulu were the two people left that could finger the king as the murderer. What episode you're referring to it? And I love the original series. I love it, but I can't think of what that is you're referring to. Bonehead says the Chiller Night crew will support and be there for you all the way. Ah, thank you. Bonehead says, "Brian, Newcastle After Dark is having The Exorcist on tonight, part 3, I think." Is that right? Oh, that's cool. Tom says, "So what can you tell us about the new escape room design?" Only that the only thing I can tell you, and somebody wrote that on Facebook too, they were inquiring about it, like, what's the theme? And I can tell you it's a horror theme, but that's all I really want to say for now. When I'm this early into it. So I'll just leave it at that for now. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Bunhead says, "Horror Express is one of my all-time favorites." Isn't that a cool movie? That is such a cool movie. Terrence says, "Okay, you got me. My favorite movie on Chiller Night Theater is Night of the Living Dead. But I also love Lady Frankenstein and Horror Express." Okay, cool. Joe Expo says, "Hi, all. How goes the traffic for the escape room?" Oh, it's been going well. I don't know if you ever visit my personal page for Brian Hogue, or even the Chiller Night Escape Room Experience. I share them with that page too, but quite a bit. It was going pretty good. A little slow today, I don't mind saying, but maybe I do mind saying. That's why I'm here. But that's good that I'm here, anyways. But yeah, it's been pretty good. I wondered how it was going to be at the shopping mall. And a lot of malls are not as obviously busy as they used to be in years or decades past. So yeah, I wondered how that was going to be. But I do believe if you have a roof and some walls and a location, that you can pretty much accomplish anything that you set your mind to. So got to put in the work. Glam says, because I just ooze class and sophistication. My favorites are Plan 9 and The Creeping Terror. Oh man, what a pair of movies that is. Plan 9 and The Creeping Terror. Yeah, yeah. Those are fun ones, aren't they? Paul says, family, I need to go help Dad be back for the stream 900 p.m. Okay, see you soon. Same bat time, same bat channel. Love you. All right, Paul. Thank you, and I wish everything well tonight with you and your family. Bonehead says, "Are you being serious, Miss Glam?" Why? Why would you even question the seriousness of that statement? What's wrong with Plan 9 and The Creeping Terror? Yeah, Tom says, "You're the ooziest Glam." Tom says, "See you, Paul." Glam says, yes, I am, Bonehead. Bonehead says, I'm laughing thinking of Glam oozing. Lasercorn says, I still love me some Hereditary. Hereditary. What is that? Wait, what do you mean, the Hereditary? Is that a title of a movie? I'm drawing a blank here, so, which I do tend to do sometimes on this side of the camera. Sometimes I rewatch these just to see how's the sound, how's it look. I'm curious to see, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, why didn't I catch that? That's what they meant, and sometimes it's only later that I do, because I guess I'm doing a little bit of mental juggling here as I'm doing it on, looking at the screen and trying to convey the right thing, and but sometimes I miss the easiest things, like the Wilhelm scream. There's something, Tom, when you were on here, I thought, because I've always heard this, that the Wilhelm scream was from the movie Them. That's not true. That's not true. It was prior to the movie Them, and I think that you had said that. I don't know where I heard this. I remember looking into this afterwards, after that episode. Um, where did I? This is not that important of a thing. I'm not going to tie up the show for this, but just things like that, little things like that I might catch on the second viewing, or watching it. But when I'm sitting here on this end, it's a little different sometimes. Paul says, "Call you tomorrow, Brian." Okay, sounds good. Sounds good, Paul. John says, "I always go to my Universal and Hammer movies around this time of the year." Yes. Bonin says, "I'm always drawing a blank." There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Universal and Hammer movies. My Halloween movies are the three that I just always think of. That I'm going to watch. Actually, four. I'm gonna throw another one in there that I normally don't talk about and put in this category. You heard me. The top three already is going to be The Bride of Frankenstein, Universal, Hammer's The Curse of the Werewolf, starring Oliver Reed, The Curse of Michael Myers, Part 6, and then the fourth one. It's a great Halloween feeling movie. The atmosphere, perfect, is Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp. I mean, that's a fantastic. I just love the look of it. I love the look of that. Tim Burton did a wonderful job creating that movie with just the look of everything with that movie. So I will throw that in there. James Jenkins says, "Good evening, ChillerNight." Hey, good evening, James. Thanks for joining us. Good evening, all he says. There you go. So, I'll put the schedule up there before the end of the show, but yeah, that was those are probably, they're just good Halloween feeling movies, I think. The Joe Expo says, favorite Halloween movie, House on Haunted Hill. I assume the original with Vincent Price. I know they had a remake back in the 90s. or maybe it was the early 2000s, in that time era. I don't know why. I don't know why they did that. Um, they can remake anything, I guess. So what's what's the harm? Flamehead says, no worries, Bonehead. I got a chuckle out of it too. All right, I missed something. Terrence says, greatest horror film of all time, Psycho, 1960, Alfred Hitchcock. A masterpiece, in my opinion. That is a really good movie. You know, I introduced that movie to Ava some years ago. It's been a while, probably like 10 years ago or so. And she really enjoyed that. You know, that was a movie that she had never watched, and um, I think she rather liked it. I like, introducing some of those older movies that I love to her, like over the years. Um, The Quiet Man with John Wayne, Casablanca. That's I love Casablanca, and got her to watch that one night. Again, this is like 10, 12 years ago by now, but I mean, I just remember, I really like that movie. It's like, these are great movies. Bunny says, I'm imagining a spider swishing along, oozing and farting across the floor. What? Well, why are you imagining that? Tom says, Ava watched Psycho, but it's black and white. I know. Ava's always loving to watch the like a newer like horror movie on Netflix or something, and I don't know. Every once in a while, there's something that catches my interest there, but not too often. I don't know. I like the oldies, but the goodies. Bonet says, "Oh damn, I gotta quit thinking that, or I'm gonna be in the wacko ward." Yeah, probably. SBC says, top 10 videos are always popular here on YouTube, so it might be a good idea to make a Jack Shadows top 10 horror film video. That's a neat idea. That's a neat idea. Glam says, well, there are spiders who shoot their poo as a defense mechanism. I'm not admitting to anything, but just saying, okay. Just as a random statement. Well, I guess they got to do what they got to do. James Jenkins says, I think the old black and white movies are far better than the newer ones. Yeah. I've said this again on here before, but you mentioned, or it was mentioned, Night of the Living Dead was brought up, and I mean, obviously a classic. Everybody loves Night of the Living Dead. I enjoy watching that movie, and of course, I've had several people involved in the making of that movie, or either making it or appeared on the movie on my show over the years. Various times. So, but I remember one was Tom Savini, of course, who directed the 1990 remake at George Romero's request, and he did a fantastic job. And to this day, I love watching the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead. I think that is such a fun movie to watch. And if I were to watch the two, the original, obviously the classic, okay, but I love, like, if I were to go out right now and pick one of those two to watch, I would pick the remake, just because it's so much, it's fun. It's a fun thing for me to watch. Not taking anything away from the original. I love the original, obviously. I think I've probably made that pretty clear over all the years I've been doing this, but there's something about the 90s, or the 1990 remake, that I just love. I don't know, I just love that movie. I love Tom Savini's way of doing things. And so Tom says, yes, Jack Shadow top 10 films. That's a neat idea. Yeah, why not? Bunny says, Glam, I love you. Now I'm really laughing. Joe Expo says, yes, Jack Shadow. Now, if there's a special guest you could bring on the show, he's the one. You should try to do a split screen show with him. Yeah, okay, it's 12 minutes left. earlier I was talking about Jack perhaps having to, in order to, here's my dilemma. I don't know if it's that big of a dilemma, but this show's been with me for a long time. I've been doing hosting since as Jack Shadow, and then this year it's been mostly me. We've got a lot of new shows out this year because of that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do them. But I've been horror hosting since May of 2008. May of 2008, I've been a horror host. So, in, whether it be a character or just me bebopping into the castle, giving you my 2 cents. And I just, with everything else going on, I just have to wonder, is it, how much I can continue to do this. Here's my thing, and I don't know if folks would enjoy just having Brian host the show, or because I'm not a finely tuned host. I'm on air doing what I'm doing right now. Is that something you'd be interested in seeing, or do you like the more of the prepared silver-tongued host, with Jack Shadow? And if he can't do it, again, I don't want the show to go out in a substandard, at a substandard level. And so again, I have to question: do I want me doing this, and I'm not trying to sell myself short, but do I trail off at the end? Is that my swan song for ChillerNight Theater or for my hosting experience, or do I have Jack finish it off with a last final episode, or just do this until I can get a constructed set again and put more time and effort into bringing the show back at a relaunch at some point, maybe another year down the road. That I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. All I can say is right now, I can tell you right now, unfortunately, I just don't have the time to keep up with it, and I could do it as in the way that I've been doing it throughout this year. Brian with the Chilly Billy type of look, with the Tux being kind of the caretaker in the castle, and that character there. And the reason you brought something, because I actually was considering a split screen type of exchange between myself and Jack Shadow for an upcoming episode. So I don't know, or maybe not even a full episode, but just an exchange of some type. We'll see. I'll need to at some point. I'm going to need to see, or get some feedback on this, because it's nothing I'm taking lightly. Like I said, I've been doing this since May of 2008, and so but it's tough. And if Jack Shadow does discontinue the hosting part, I know the haunted attraction is going to be Jack Shadow's. Actually, I'm changing the name of the haunted house, but it will be Jack Shadow's, and then the name of the haunted house. Because it was going to be Realm of Terror, but I'm actually going to change that for next year. I notified the artist to change it. And, so we'll see. SBC says, exactly, films have to be fun. Terrence says, I've never seen Brian and Jack in the same room together. Makes you think. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I guess I've never thought about that. Yeah, I might have to do something about that. Bonehead says, we got a few minutes. Bonehead says, Tom Paisley and Glam, Fangs, thank you, Yins, both for cracking me up and making my sides hurt and my eyes water. I missed this fun, and I just want to thank you too. Very cool. James says, you doing the show is good. Keep doing the show. Thank you. Okay. Joe Expo says, love Jack. Joe Expo says, I watch old shows, Sleepy Hollow with Jack. Oh, is that right? Those are the old ones. Bonnie says, just be yourself, Brian. Keep doing the show and the pre-show. I'm addicted and I need my weekly fix. So thank you. What I could do, I guess maybe I could. Oh, there's something from John here. Let's see. You've been watching the ChillerNight pre-show. Brian Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you that there's only 9 days until Halloween. Remember, Jack Shadow is watching. Yes. Until next Saturday night, we hope. Stay chilled and keep thrilled. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you, John. Crozak de Grand. Yeah, I don't know. I have been really wrestling with this lately because it's something that, but I need more viewers. I do. I will say this. I if I'm doing this stuff, I need something to bring more attention to it, because it's hard for me to justify only a handful of people. I don't know what else to do. I'm, like I said, I'm by myself. It's not like I can really go out of, I don't know, marketing or something like that, or sharing the videos. I've asked for that before. I don't know what else to do, and so, and if I have a busy business running, it's hard for me to say, okay, I'm going to do something where I'm not. It's just a tough call on my end, but I guess we'll see. I'll keep throwing this out there, maybe over the next few weeks, and see what we can come up with something. But it's all what I guess you're gonna watch. Joe Expo says, Brian, LOL, you literally created a monster. Yes, I did. Bonus says, I just want to thank you, Brian, for all you do and for a great Saturday night. Thank you very much. And I'm going to put the schedule up once again, because in just a few minutes, less than 4 minutes, this is your Chiller Night Theater lineup for tonight. I kind of like this. Before we used to put the Chiller Chats in there. But first of all, I don't have time. I definitely don't have time to continue with the Chiller Chats. But I kind of think this is kind of a neat Saturday night bracket of timing to play 4 Chiller Night Theater movies back to back. And until I hear otherwise, I'll just continue to do this. 9 p.m. or until a better idea comes along. 9 o'clock, Silent Night, Bloody Night. 10:50, the movie is The Undying Monster. At 12:05, Scared to Death. And then at 1:35 in the morning, The Giant Claw. So there you have it. And you can get there by going to the upper right of your screen. Streammedia.tv. Streammedia.tv is where you're going to find all that frightening fun for the night. Joe Expo says, yes, more viewers. The same 11 of us won't cut it, but the viewership would be great in reruns. I know, I do over the course of, by the next morning, get maybe a couple hundred, but I don't know. I weigh these ideas in my head. Tom says, good night, all you creepers. See you next week, hopefully. Me too. PBR Street Gang says, great lineup. Double thumbs up. Glam says, it's always a pleasure. Bonehead Brian created a great forum for folks to kick back and have fun. Thank you, Glam. I appreciate that. I love doing this, and I'll do it as long as I can. I'll put it that way. Bonehead says, sounds like Chiller Night Theater crew has a mission. Oh, I like that. Let's share this vid and get people to tune in to Chiller Night Theater. Thank you, Bonehead. I appreciate that. Tom says, might just watch Chiller Night Theater's Horror Express this weekend. Been a while. Good one to watch. Lazy Corner says, good night, peeps. Sorry I wasn't around much. No, just thanks for joining us when you can. All right, folks, it is 8:58, so I will leave you to prepare, grab your snacks and beverage of choice, and have a good night. Have a good Chiller night. We will see you next week. Remember, one way or the other, Jack Shadow will be hosting next Saturday night's Chiller Night Theater. So it'll be a brand new episode, brand new Jack Shadow. So, all right, Take care, folks. We'll see you next week.